Hello everybody, Siraz here, and today I'm going to be trying to finish up the rest of this Huck replay pack. I think I have 3 more replays I am going to cast, or 2 more, I think 2 more. 2 more replays I am going to cast of Huck against various players on the Korean ladder. And I think one is a PvP and one is a TvP. This is the TvP, obviously, as we are seeing the Terran base. And so, once again, our Protoss hero here, Huck, is going to be playing against this Terran player. I still don't read Korean. One of these days, maybe I can make some time and try and learn Korean. But currently, I do not know Korean. So, as always, if anyone wants to translate this, it'd be much appreciated. I do know somebody translated that other player's name, the other Protoss player, in one of the other games I cast. Thank you for doing that. I do not know your name offhand, but if you want a shout out, let me know, and I will do that definitely. This other guy didn't really ask for a shout out or whatever, but I figured I might as well say something about it. But yeah, anyways, if you want a shout out, ask explicitly, and I will, write down your name and give you a shout out. So yeah, anyways, so it is a PvT, and real quick, I always forget to do this ahead of time. There we go. Do not like to have the camera mouse scroll because it leads to kind of jerky movement at times, but that is not the case when you turn it off. And looks like so far we have pretty standard play, both players. Okay, no, never mind, he is building that Marine, so yeah. Just the standardest Terran play from the Terran player. He's choosing to wall off. Some Terrans don't choose to do that against Protoss, but this does help if you run into Zealots. And so it also stops scouting, so that's basically the advantage of doing this. And we do have that tech lab going down, so probably going to see a quick Marauder. Quick Marauder, very, a couple, or just a small little push with like a Marauder and a Marine, or a couple Marines or whatever, can kind of screw up a Protoss a little bit. Some players like to do that, some players don't. Or he might be going for some sort of fast upgrade here. We'll have to see what he chooses to do, like a fast stim. Oh, no, is going for that Reaper. So, interesting choice by our Korean Terran player here. Getting out that Reaper, probably just going to use it as a scout. So, some Terran players like to do that. Not a bad idea, you don't have to waste. And whoa, what is this? Huck's probe with a gold mineral going nutsoid on the watchtower there. Just making it go on and off like crazy. So that is wild. Oh, he did not get the right spot again. Good try, Huck. Good try. Huck going for a robo build. Very safe. Sometimes you can run into some trouble with some early bio pressure with this sort of build. But what it does is it allows you to get at that early observer. Get out all the scouting information you need. I really like this. Just solid play by Huck so far. And we'll have to see where he transitions to from here. When he's getting Warp Gate as well, and that second gateway. Terran player, in the meantime, going for an expansion very quick. The question is, will he be able to defend it on this map? It's kind of hard to defend this expansion on Xel'Naga. I mean, look at this huge distance you have to defend all the way around here to defend this expansion. Well, I guess maybe more like all the way around here to defend this expansion. And it can be kind of difficult at times. Especially against ranged units, so we'll have to see if that comes into play. A couple more barracks going up. Just solid play from our Terran player here. I'm kind of curious to know who this is. A lot of times you have these names in Korean and you hear it and you're like, oh, well, obviously. I mean, I know who this guy is. So it's kind of surprising at times. Nothing too crazy gone on yet. Protoss, or I guess Huck, is up in the worker count. Chrono boosting out some workers, but the Terran does have mules as well, so pretty equal. I'd suspect that income pretty equal between the two players. Terran maybe even a little bit ahead. I guess okay, so the Terran player does not have his second gas. That also makes a big difference as well in your mineral collection rate. So, pretty equal, I would say, at this point. Huck taking an expansion, Protoss player, or Terran player, excuse me, taking his expansion as well. Stim on the way, going to maybe do a little stim poke out here, but just deciding to retreat back to base. Playing it safe. Transferring some workers over, just most, you know, just very, very safe play from both these players here. So I think we are going to be heading into a later macro game. Huck, though, going to do a poke out of his own. Oh, maybe even going to see if he can do some sort of, you know, timing attack here. He does have that pylon up, so he will be able to warp in reinforcements if he so chooses. He also has a couple gateways. 2 gates. Okay, so not too many. So I don't think this is really going to be anything more than a poke. Trying to do a little bit of damage if he can. He has an observer, so he can see exactly what's going on. And we'll have to see how he uses his forces. Keeping those sentries back and going to flank with the stalkers. This is kind of interesting, going to try and pick off a couple SCVs. I mean, every little bit helps, but the Marauders are coming. He does not have concussive shells, so these stalkers will be able to just run away. And now we are going to see the Terran player try and take out a couple Zealots. Stalkers coming in from behind. Huck controlling the battle on both sides, some nice force fields, blocking some of these bio units here, and then just retreating with the Stalkers, so great control by Huck. Getting a couple Marines there, and then just retreating away. So just, you know, every little bit helps. If we look at the units lost. Yeah, killing 5 units in the process, losing none yet. So great control by Huck so far this game. Also getting, you know, I think a couple of those were SCVs and then probably a couple Marines and a Marauder or something like that. Back to the production tab, we have Ghosts on the way for the Terran player. Very solid against this sort of force. He probably did see that Immortal. Oh, and a big battle going down. Nice force field splitting the Terran army in half. Immortal getting sniped right away, though. Great control by the Terran player. But looks like Huck is going to take this battle, trapping a couple Marauders there trying to retreat. And the Terran player forced to back up to his bunker. Definitely Huck does not have enough to push in and win yet. But forcing the Terran player a little bit on the defensive here. Both players continuing to just build SCVs and macro up. Probably looking real close. Terran player probably actually a little bit ahead here because he does have mules. So yeah, if you look at the income, he has not taken as many gas yet as Huck. I think he's finally, okay, so he's finally taken his 4th gas. But still up in the harvest collection rate over the over Huck. So Terran player macroing up very strong. Huck, though, no slouch in the macro himself. I mean, these worker count numbers are very, very solid for this point in the game. If you ever want to check, you can say, alright, look at my worker count. Am I at around 50, 11 minutes in? If so, I'm doing a pretty good job of macroing. Huck gonna do the pretty standard transition to Colossus. Huck really likes Colossus in all of his matchups, and it's completely understandable. As, you know, it is a solid base unit for the Protoss. It's one of the strongest units in the game, so why not build them? Huck also having great pylon placement, making sure no units are going to sneak around, come around and like flank his force and attack his natural. Terran player in the meantime, thinking about moving out. This could be a nice timing for the Terran player, as it looks like if he attacks now, he will hit before that first Colossus is out. And with a nice EMP here, or EMP or 2, could really do well against this gateway-centric army. So he has to go soon, though. The Colossus is about to pop. Oh, it looks like he's going to wait a little bit. And these ghosts, are they... Oh, wow, so the Emps were not effective at all. Both those ghosts getting picked off very quickly, maybe hitting 1 or 2 units. However, this Bioforce, very strong, stimming up here and doing quite a bit of damage. The Colossus is out, and that's going to really force the Terran player to retreat. You cannot fight Colossus without Medvac support at the least. Preferably Viking support here is a lot better against you know, Colossus, but you need a Medvacs as well to heal up that damage, so you can tank for a little while your Vikings do kill the Colossus. So I think that's what we're going to see, a transition. Terran player going to get out a couple Medvacs, and then we'll probably see Vikings being produced. He has a lot of units that are pretty low HP, and he probably wants to heal that up. But Huck looking like he might poke out here, see what he can do. We do have that 3rd going up for Huck, so always a good time to attack when you expand. But the Terran player is going to see this, and he's probably... I mean, what that tells him is he either needs to do some sort of attack right now, or he needs to take a third of his own, so we'll have to see what the Terran player decides to do. If he does neither, looks like he is going to take a third. That's just a solid choice. You have to do one or the other, and if you don't, you'll just fall behind. So looks like he felt he can't attack into the Colossus. So Terran player falling a little bit behind, not producing too many, or falling a little bit behind, I guess, in the worker production count, but 60 workers is still a very solid number. But Huck is just continuing to macro up, wants to get the workers to saturate his third base as well. And looks like we're having more gateways being produced, still on one robo, and then getting that Zealot charge. Zealot charge is very strong against Bio. We do have a couple Vikings out now, help deal with these Colossus. 2 Vikings might not be quite enough. Like to see a couple more, and the Terran player choosing to go for this gold. Solid choice. Terran does have the ability to turn their command centers into planetary fortress, which are a very strong defensive unit. And we also see a nuke on the way, so we might see some nukes come into play here. Could be very, very effective in a harassment tool against these three bases of of Huck. Terran player, sizable number of ghosts. 4 is a very solid count. Also C, 4 Vikings on the way, so definitely that's a good good supplement to his army. Even more Vikings on the way. So Huck going very, very gateway heavy. Poor scouting marine there, getting roasted to a crisp by the Colossus laser beams. Would not want to be that marine. It's like, hey, you there, Joe? Go attack the Protoss. Go see what's going on. Yeah, it gets just immediately burnt to a crisp. Terran player kind of threatening here to attack one of these expansions, and this is pretty good. If nothing else, it kind of buys him some time to get this base up and running. Huck gonna get some storm as well, and we do have a nuke going off. Where is it? Here we go. Nuke at the 3rd base of Huck. And he does catch it in time, so he is going to have to pull all of his workers. However, this is pretty cost effective, as it does kill a couple workers there, as well as stop mining. But a battle going on at the same time. All the gateway units of Huck are down, and the Colossus are going to be forced to retreat. Reinforcements coming in, though. A couple Colossus going down in the meantime. And this is looking really good for the Terran player. All the Colossus are down, and now the gateway units are going, or the barracks units are going to be very strong against these gateway units. Huck being forced to pull probes to defend. Another Colossus coming out. Looks like it's going to get sniped, though. Huck bringing it back in time. However, the Vikings are going to make short work of it. Huck needs to really get some more units out. Alright, looks like he is able to finally fend this off. Reinforcements coming in for the Terran player, but because they are coming in piecemeal, looks like Huck should be able to defend. Nice blink micro there. Excellent. Huck will definitely have no trouble. Oh wow, actually looks like this last Marauder will take out the last Stalker of Huck. However, lots of Zealot reinforcements here, and Huck should be able to defend any future attack. Another nuke going down at this expansion. Once again, stopping mining. This time pulling all the probes, not leaving 2 poor gas mining probes to their doom here. And boom! The nuke does go down. However, not really doing too much damage in the process. Ghost continuing to shoot at this assimilator. Huck needs to put something up there to defend against this. Doesn't have too much range. Nice storms going down, doing a lot of damage to that bio. And the Ghost coming back around here. Nice EMP on the Ghosts, or on the High Templar there. Finally, a feedback though will stop any more EMP attempts on those High Templar. However, Terran player doing a good job of using the terrain to his advantage, going to snipe this assimilator, slow down the Ghost production, and Huck doing something kind of smart here, choosing to put all his workers at his expansion, or his natural expansion, instead of at this expansion, which is much more vulnerable to this sort of harass being done by the Terran player. So Terran player looking real solid here. Huck down in the worker count due to the fact that he had to pull some to defend against that last attack. However, he does have Storm. Should be very strong against any sort of attack coming out from the Terran player here. The nice thing about High Templar, not as vulnerable to the Viking as the Colossus. So very, very strong. And Huck moving out. I have to see, changing his mind, just kind of poking out here. Terran player about to take his fourth. Huck going to have to, you know, make something happen. Either has to take a fourth of his own relatively soon, or needs to attack. One or the other, otherwise he will find himself behind. Looks like he's going to choose to go on the offensive, though. Big Bio Army. A lot of High Templar. High Templar very, very strong against this sort of force, even warping in more. And he does have the energy upgrades, so they do warp in with enough energy to storm immediately, and that is huge against a Terran opponent that is going very, very bio-heavy army. Looks like the Terran's going to commit here. Huck going to come around the back, going to cut off any sort of reinforcements, going to pick off these Vikings, so that will allow the Colossus to live, and what's going to... Really, it's going to come down to whether or not these storms are effective here. They did get, oh, huge EMP from the Terran player here, actually getting rid of all the energy of those High Templar, but more are being warped in, and these storms should be enough to take care of this Marauder threat. Colossus getting picked off, and I think the Terran player is going to retreat, as he does not want to fight against Storm in this position. So Terran player, great or Ghost or control there, having some great EMPs on those High Templar, really allowed him to do a lot of damage, but once again, you know, he is forced to retreat. Probably is going to sit next to this Planetary Fortress. Relatively hard to break, unless you do get off some nice storms. You have to stop those SCVs from repairing, otherwise it's really hard to kill a Planetary Fortress. Huck going to take out this factory, does not want any more scouting information, or does not want to allow any more scouting information. And this is actually not the best position for Huck. He is mined out at the main, getting pretty low at his natural, needs to get this base up and running very soon, or he will find himself in a situation where he cannot... Oh, and picking off the Ghost! Excellent. Excellent play there by Huck. But yeah, he needs to get another base up and running. His income is looking very, very low compared to the Terran player. Huck going to, you know, pick off another unit there. Not going to allow any more Xel'Naga control. And a nuke going off once again at this expansion. This is very frustrating for Huck, as he has to stop all mining here. In the meantime, a couple Stalkers getting picked off by a stimmed Bio Ball. Huck trying to take the gold expansion. He needs to defend here. Did cancel that. Nice feedbacks on those High Templar, but still, I don't think it's going to be enough, or high feedbacks on the Ghost from the High Templar. And there is the GG. Huck realizes that he cannot get up a fourth base, and just gonna, well, he just cannot get up that fourth base, and Terran player will just eventually out-macro him to death. So good play by Huck there, but the Terran player just playing great, great abuse. Well, not abuse, I guess what I should say is great usage of this cliff right here to really deny this third, and then just a good attack coming in here, taking out the third. Very nice EMP, stopping the High Templar from really decimating that army, and then managing to retreat with some of his forces intact, which really did allow him to macro up a force once again, knowing Huck was kind of limited in his resources, and eventually just got a force large enough to brute force down the Gateway High Templar army of Huck. So I hope you guys did enjoy this Huck replay. I think I'm going to bring you guys one more Huck replay. And then after that, I've pretty much gone through the entire Huck pack. So, yeah, stay tuned for that last Huck replay, and see you guys later.